So what do you guys think was really missing in that approach, as well as the execution in that first half that led to the holes you guys found yourselves in by halftime?
I'm not sure. I usually get up here and feel like I have some great answers. I don't have a good answer for how we played in the first half, particularly the first quarter. It appeared to me we just weren't ready to play, which was surprising because we practiced well. Our shoot-around was good. Our kids, knew the game plan, but it just didn't look like we were ready to play. And, this league is too good and teams are too good in this league to show up and start like that.
Now, despite not being able to pull off that comeback, you guys got within single digits. Was there anything that you really think went right for you in that second half, or at least improved, that helped you pull off that run that you went on?
Well, we made some adjustments in the locker room that I thought our players did a really good job executing. I mean, obviously the game plan wasn't working, and I always say to our team, you need to execute the game plan. If it doesn't work, then that's on me. And so, we made some changes because it wasn't working, and I thought our players adapted really well. Was able to turn them over quite a bit in the second half, get ourselves some extra opportunities, which certainly we needed being in that type of a hole.
It seemed like their just overall intensity and speed was giving you fits offensively. How did you guys adapt to that, just kind of piggybacking off that last question?
Yeah, I think we really allowed them to dictate in the first half. Everything that we were doing was east-west rather than north-south. We weren't putting any pressure on their defense. We let them bump us off of everything. We didn't post up very hard. We didn't find post entries. I mean, we really essentially didn't do what we do best. And that was the other adjustment we talked about at halftime, that we had to use their aggression against them. And I thought we did a much better job of that in the second half. We were just in too deep of a hole.
How do you guys kind of seem to try to look to minimize turnovers in the future?
That's something that has been up and down for us all season. We've had great stretches of taking care of the ball, and then, we have stretches where we don't take care of the ball quite as well. And so the only answer that I have is we'll continue to work on it, watching film and working in practice.
Focusing especially on Kaya Miller's 21 points, how do you guys think you could have really done better when it comes to resisting what they put out on the offensive end?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just didn't play her very well. I think any good player in the Big East, when they get off to the type of start that she had, they feel confident, and she should have. And so we just didn't play her very well. It was a tough matchup across the board because they're so big and physical, and our roster isn't quite built that way. So, we had some issues with some matchups in this game, and I just don't think we covered each other very well in the first half. But in the second half, we were able to cover each other better.
And for Lee in particular, is there anything from that first quarter that you really stood out? Because that was really where a lot of those holes really shone through.
I mean, yeah, it's just disappointing. Like, that's not how we play. We usually start games really well. So I think it was an effort to come out and not score in the first couple minutes, and then just build momentum for them. But I didn't think we came out in the second half and responded. It was just too late.
This question's for you, Lee. What's kind of led you to trust your three-point ability this season?
I think my teammates and my coaches put a lot of confidence in me, and just all the reps were the summer up until this point.
You've started slow sometimes in quarters and in the beginning of games. How can you learn from this loss to Georgetown? At one point, I think it was 18-0 or 17-0, that there's no way we can do this again. And then this is the first time you've lost back-to-back games since the trip to Florida. Is this something kind of as you build towards the end of the season and towards now you're fully in Big East play on how you can kind of keep getting better and keep growing throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's not something we want to do again. We learned more from the losses, but
Yeah, I mean, I've continually said with this team that we're nowhere close to the team that we can be. It's been a very difficult season with, injuries and people out of the lineup, and, Hallie Weiss gave everything she could give to us at Seton Hall. She's injured, and she couldn't give it to us today. We got Kennedy Perkins back. She was limited to 10 minutes, so she got 9 minutes and 40 seconds. So we're still dealing with a lot of things, which isn't an excuse. I mean, every team in the league is dealing with things. But we have to continue to have confidence to know if, we can stay the course and stay in the moment, and continue to believe that we can grow and get better. We can grow and get better, and that's what it's going to come down to.
Is there kind of a new mentality that's going to come out of this game? I thought, the game kind of started off like a nightmare for you guys in a sense.
I agree. It felt like a nightmare. So I think it's already kind of been said. Like, we have to learn and grow. We're not going to have many games that are going to go that bad to start. That's just not the type of team we are. And that's a game. Sometimes you show up and it just doesn't go your way. And obviously we were factors in that. But we'll keep learning and we'll keep getting better.
We saw Jada go into the locker room right before the end of the game. Is there any updates on her status since then?
I haven't talked to the medical team, so I don't have an update.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
How do you think Abby's going to play a little more part in the rotation there, seeing her back in the lineup?
Yeah, I think that still remains to be seen. Abby was cleared this week along with Kennedy, and they haven't had much practice time. And so we're going to continue to find opportunities to get her in after she gets some reps. But it still remains to be seen. Abby went down the first minute she was in the game of the first game. So it's a difficult time because usually by now what kids can give you. But we'll figure it out.
Or kind of what was the thought process behind putting out 5 new players in the middle of the first quarter there, turning your bench that quickly?
I was displeased with the effort from our starters. And so I used my timeout to let them know I was displeased and that if I didn't feel their effort would change, we were going to change the lineup. So that's what I did.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.